sort of see if they can convince the senators and
You
Congress.
come a little closer so we can capture the conversation. But
I think he
don't
should
be shy.
No, I'm not shy, but I think that he should be the one that
Speaks.
talking, because it is about him.
Yes.
And the only thing that I started to say that I really wanted to say that I still admire about him is that he is a true champion. And as you know, you've seen him fight. You know what kind of person he is. Well, when this thing first hit, it hit the family just as hard as it hit him, you know. And we were all down. And the one thing that was kind of prevalent at the time is that he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want anybody to know about it. He wanted to sort of see if we could deal with this thing, get it done, get it over with, and become healthy, and then nobody knows about it. Well, when he realized it wasn't going to be that easy, he went through a transformation of not hiding, but not telling anyone about it, to wanting to share everything with everybody. So he now wants to be the champion of this ALS thing. The ALS Association heard about him through a guy named Claude, and then we wound up connecting, and he is now going to be a spokesman for him. So he really is becoming a champion of this ALS thing, to conquer this thing. So, and that's his spirit, you know. But I'd rather him, because he says it very aptly. Even in Rhode Island, when he began to speak, people, you could see on their faces, it went from a kind of pity, a sorrow type of thing, to admiration. And when he started to speak, his words sort of changed even how they felt. They didn't feel embarrassed. They didn't feel like they want to be withdrawn. They felt they want to get involved. But that's him. And again, I guess he can sort of, you'll begin to see that the more and more you speak to him about it.
Okay. So you're on. So what do you want to share with the world? What do you want to say to the world about Kevin Thompson, the man, first and foremost?
Well, to establish a non-quitters attitude. Obviously, you know that everything comes from the mind and the heart. And to defeat or accomplish anything, you have to have a strong and positive mind and heart. You know, the mind, spirit, and body. Because everything comes through the body, but before the body, you have to have a strong mind and spirit. So the body is just a component to exercise your thought and what you are feeling and believing. So that's what I want them to know about me. I am ready to defeat this disease and be the first one. I'm going to train again in my basement. You know, Carl?
Yes, sir.
You sitting here, man. I was thinking about all them days when we went to championships. And we, took pictures. And we became real close over that time period. I really miss those days.
Yes, sir. Me too.
And I thank you, man, for, remembering and exercising your powers that you have now to exercise something for your friend. So I am so grateful for you and Sandy to be here and to come and do this. It really touches my heart. But I'm going to fight this thing to the end. and I'm going to be victorious.
Sir.
And to make enough noise all over, anywhere I go, to pull the mask off of this disease, because pretty much many people don't know about this, y'all.
No.
Many people don't know about it. When it hit me, I didn't know about it. I thought Lou Garrett had died from some form of aggressive cancer, you know? And then when they said it was ALS, then I began to do my research. The punch that's going to hurt you the most, Carl, is the punch that you don't see coming. You can't brace, prepare for blocking, or this, that, or the other. You know, it's the deceptive mode of this disease which sneaks up upon you. They say it lies dormant in your body and just comes about all of a sudden. So I am looking to pull the wool off of it completely, to let everybody know what this disease is capable of doing. It's coming. You have to begin practicing under control all those days of the full contact and throwing down and having the concussions.
They don't know.
And we can't have that no more. We have to truly exercise it as a sport and an extracurricular activity.
So with the martial arts in general,
yeah.
So you're saying that the full contact training is not
It's not good. No, it's not good.
the blows
Because
to the head.
the blows to the head, the trauma to the body, you see, is no good. And my brother and I, we knew long ago that we were doing a lot of things inappropriate, wrong, stretching,
Running
you know,
in combat
running in
boots.
combat boots,
Yeah.
kicking in weights,
Yes, sir.
and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
Sir, we all did that. And
Standing
now
on-
we all pay the price.
Don Rodriguez said something when he was here. Well, he said it on Rhode Island too. He said that Kevin has been on all of the top karate teams, from the
Budweiser team.
to Atlantic Oil, to Trans
World
World
Oil.
Oil, to John Paul Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
And every team he's been on, for most of the existence of that team, he has been the top competitor on that team. He, when you look at the stats, is probably the most prolific karate athlete this nation has ever produced. When you
40
look-
years, right?
Exactly.
Four decades, right? Correct? 40 years?
Maybe longer than that.
70s,
80s,
Yeah.
90s.
2000.
Yeah.
When did you... oh, that's Donnie. Can you say hello?
Push green and hold it. Hold it straight across to the middle.
To the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, hold it right there. Now press speaker
Where's the speaker?
right there.
Right there. Hey, Don.
Coach, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
All right, hey, Coach. You know you're gonna live a long time.
Just about talking about that.
Hey, Coach, this is no lie. No lie, my right hand to God. I have Carl Romaine and Sandy and my brother Earl here, and we just started talking about you. Coach, I mean, Coach Earl,
Yeah,
tell him.
Yeah.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
He
I
said,
just
"Doc,
mentioned your name.
just mention your name, Coach."
We're doing an interview with Kevin here.
Well, listen, I was just calling to say hi and see how everything was going. I don't want to interrupt anything.
No, Don, no interruption. Do you want to say a few words? Maybe we could put it in the article.
You know what? I'd love to say a few words. Anytime, you just guide me along, yeah, let me know what you want me to do.
Well, if there was anything you wanted to share about Kevin, what would you like to share?
Well, Kevin is known in the martial arts as being one of the total package, one of the best all-around competitors that ever competed, fighting forms and weapons, and understandably that's correct, and he will go down in history as one of the best overall competitors that ever stepped on the floor. But what a lot of people don't know is that Kevin Thompson, the person, him himself, is also one of the best guys that I've ever come along in my lifetime. And he's not just a competitor. He's not just a person out there competing and doing forms and weapons and fighting and stuff. And there's nobody better than Kevin doing that. But what a lot of people don't know is the individual Kevin himself, and that's what probably impresses me more than anything.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, you're entirely welcome. And I just got the most respect for him.
Yes, sir.
Than anybody.
Yes, sir.
It's just, and then I got to know Kevin. I got to know him personally, and that's why I can speak of that. And I've met a lot of people in my lifetime, and he is definitely an extraordinary individual. And it's you talk about how he affects people. Listen, I dropped 100 pounds because of him.
You look good, Coach.
Awesome. Congratulations.
That's my coach. That's my coach.
You know what? He's making me healthy by being who he is. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing well back a year ago. Now I feel great. I feel good. And
good for you.
That's good.
That's great. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Don. That's awesome. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Always here the same way, and anytime you need anything, call. Just give me a call. You got my number.
I don't, but I'll make sure I get it.
For sure. I mean, listen, Christine's on that Facebook stuff and computer 24/7. So
you got it.
I don't even know how to turn it on. If he told me to shut the computer off, I'd unplug it. And I don't want to know how to do it.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you, Don.
I'm about 2 steps away from you, Coach. I'm right with you.
Listen, Kevin, when you get some time in a few days from now, or whenever you have some time, give me a buzz. I'd love to talk to you for like 4 hours.
Hey, y'all think he kidding? That's the low end. Okay, Coach.
Okay. Thanks.
Listen, you guys have a great time there, and I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, take care, Coach.
Okay.
Love you,
Tell
Coach.
Christina said hi.
Love you, Coach. And thanks for everything again, Coach. I really appreciate it.
You kidding me, Kevin? It's my pleasure to help in any way I can, Kevin.
It's awesome.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much. And
Follow up on that. The thing that I've even learned over the last year is I knew
come a little closer, though.
I knew people around the world liked him and loved him, but I didn't know to the extent that they did. And his effects on people, not only in the martial arts world, but in the world in general, of people who know him and know of him. And I think that his new attitude that he's taken, where he wants to be the champion of ALS or of finding a cure for ALS, he's going to do similarly what Lou Gehrig did to make people aware of it. Because many people in the martial arts world didn't know what it was about. It was like us. And because of him, they are going to know about this thing.
And they need to know.
Yeah, and they need to know.
Because if you're talking about head blows, I know Dr. Oz told me once that head blows this could be a product of head blows.
Right.
We just don't know, and we
That's
don't know
right.
which
That's
one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that said, we need to be educated.
I found
Absolutely.
out just recently that Greg Page, the former heavyweight boxer, died of ALS.
Yeah.
You know,
And as a
same thing.
football player now, he can't even. He's got some
Steve
special.
Gleason.
Yeah.
Steve Gleason.
Yeah, so it's obvious the contact,
Mm.
but again, the attitude that he's taken, and I love this idea of him going to Washington because he's going to speak up, and his word will speak volumes.
Mm.
You know, and the people that he can reach, will be aware of
Be
this.
aware, yeah, yeah. I mean, being a world champion, and I recognize that, and I haven't come close to what you've achieved, you know, but it brings about a weight. You know, and you start to recognize the responsibility that you have because you have a voice that people will listen to. Powerful voice that people listen to. And so with that said, when you go to Washington, what would be your victory that day for you? What will be your win? Because I know when you go to a tournament, you're prepared, right? So
If those congressmen would stand up and say, we are ready to find a cure and to give whatever the scientists need and the medical world needs to defeat this thing right now. Giving money to all of these other different countries for these nonsensible reasons, okay? And say, we're going to stop this right now. And we're going to stand up and give an open check to whatever is needed to find a cure. It's been too long. Going over 100 years. They only knew about it when Lou Garrett came in 39, died in 39. They're thinking it's only 75 years, but it's been way before Lou Garrett. You see?
do we know who the first person was?
No, we don't.
We don't have it.
But he was considered the first known individual with this disease.
A lot of people confuse ALS and MS.
With MS, right.
What's the difference?
The difference is you have the total, I would say fatal and non-fatal.
Okay.
ALS is fatal. MS is non-fatal. Meaning that you can live with MS. You can't live. Okay? At some point in time, all your muscles in which that control your entire body is going to shut down because the disease is a progressive disease.
Now,
They have
the
things
research that
to-
they're doing in Israel,
Right.
and there's research now with Parkinson where they're using a battery and electrical stimming
Right.
to kind of spark the nervous system.
That's right.
Will that work for ALS or no? Do they know?
I have not read up on what you have just spoke of, but I've heard about it. All I can do is speak to you about what I do know, what I have read, and what I have seen. And it's not good for them to allow humans to fall by the wayside and not try to do anything about it. When this hearing down in Washington has been going on for some time.
Yeah, they go every year.
Every year. And they are not getting anything accomplished. I mean,
They get very little accomplished.
very, very little. When AIDS came on the circuit, they on it. You know? They were on it. within, a few years' time, they had that thing under control. And that's what they need to do about this disease. And a victory for me would be that they stand up and say, we are 100% for finding a cure. Not halfway in and halfway out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to find a cure. Not to prolong this thing and to allow for other people to die and to fade away and to miss out on so much. It is crazy, man.
Are most people with ALS older? Are they like in our age group?
No,
Or are they younger? Are there children with ALS?
Namely, I have not seen any children with it. Namely, it hits you pretty much from the 30s on up. So it lies dormant in your body for a period
What's
of
the
time.
first sign that people should look for?
First sign, I believe, is twitching. And yes.
You mean like when people get it?
Yes. I tell you the truth, I went back and thought about every little thing. Every little thing. I can tell you some things, and I'm going to tell you some things. The first sign, I'm telling you, the twitch, I'm lying in the bed with my wife, and my chest was twitching. And I said, what's that? And she felt my chest, and she says, oh, you're probably still, up from doing your sit-ups and push-ups. But every night I do 100 sit-ups and 100 push-ups. Do 4 sets of 25s. And
yeah, you were in phenomenal shape.
I don't miss a night.
Yeah.
My wife will tell you, I get on the floor before I get in the bed. And then once I'm finished, that's when I get in the bed. May it be watching the news and or some pillow talk with my wife about the day. And she's lying on my chest, and sure enough, the twitching. That was one of the first signs. Another sign was the lack of strength in your muscles. Your power begins to fade.
But as an athlete, we recognize.
Absolutely.
But a person who's never done sports wouldn't know the difference.
Absolutely.
And there's different levels.
There's different levels.
But we would see it right away.
Absolutely, because we are constantly doing.
So how about somebody who's not having our experience?
I would say the twitching. I would say the...
how would they recognize a change in their strength?
The imbalance. Well, when they perhaps go to pick up something, go to step up a ladder, go to step up stairs, their legs will get weak, Go to pick up something and they fumble it. Go to walk and they lose their balance. I had an issue with my equilibrium. Yes, that's the real sign that happened. I was training in the basement 2010 of November. I always start my workout for the year that Sunday right after Thanksgiving. And it was the Thursday Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'm in the basement. Do my treadmill, run my half an hour. From the treadmill, I go to the floor. I do my sit-ups, my exercise and stretching. From there, I get on my knuckles, 25 on the knuckles, widespread for my chest, 25, short, diamonds for my forearms, everything. So I got up from there, Carl, I'm sweating. I gather myself. The next phase of my training is my katas. I do 10 empty hand katas. My first 5 is slow. checking my stances, my balance.
Same
my
form or different forms?
Same form. This is the same kata that I'm doing for
competition.
The competition. So the same kata. So I make sure it's correct. And I got down, and it was my first time. I says, boom, boom, boom. I got back down again.
When you say you shook, you lost your balance?
I lost my balance, right. I says, boom, boom, boom. And I lost my balance, excuse me.
No.
And I said, my mind, a little sluggish from the push-ups and sit-ups, sweating. So I tighten up, right? Get in, focus, tight. And so I get back down again, says, boom, boom, boom. And I lose my balance again, son. And this time, I look at the carpet. I tie my shoestring tight.
Yeah.
This ain't-
Must have been in the floor. Yeah. That wasn't me. That wasn't Kevin Thompson now.
You know what I'm saying, Carl. Right? You know
I know. I'll change my shoes if I have to, because that ain't happening again.
That's right. And so, Carl, I get down again in my mind.
Right.
I'm a hold. I'm a
Yeah, it ain't happening one more time.
It ain't happening no more. And so I hit it hard. I said, boom, boom, boom. And I get down real low, Carl. And my legs started shaking, trembling like that. I jump up. I said, oh my God. Right then and there, I knew something was wrong. I ran upstairs and said, Sheena, my wife's up. Nurse RN, and I said, Sheena, something's wrong with my equilibrium. And she did a couple of tests on me, and she says, yeah, something's wrong. Immediately, right then and there, we began to aggressively seek out a neurologist that can find what was going on.
How long did it take for them to figure it out?
That was 2010.
Because it's not an easy thing for them to figure out.
It's not. It hides behind. And they said because of my physical prowess, things were very hard to find as far as my strength and things like that. So it was 2012 of March that they found out something was wrong. And he said, the doctor said, I had March 29th, the doctor tells me that I have ALS. And right then and there, my wife and I, looked at each other and, dropped and started, embracing one another and lift our heads and looked at the doctor.
Did you understand what that meant?
He called it a motor neuron disease. And I had been doing my research, so I knew what motor neuron meant.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He said motor neuron, and that's when I lift my head and I says, ALS stop? And he said, yes. Like that. And and from that point on, I asked him, I says, what is the next step? And he shook his head. He says, they didn't have no steps. He says, you can...
So they give you the prognosis, and then he says,
nothing.
You're on your own?
You're on your own. I'm telling you, Carl. This is the problem with this disease.
Did he tell you to reach out to this organization, this support group?
No,
did he know medicine? Nothing.
He said we have a support group and all of that stuff.
But no medicine, no treatment, no nothing.
No treatment, no nothing. They do this little Ryutech pill that says nobody really knows, that says it's supposed to slow it down. But nobody really knows. We have.
Do you take it?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel like it's slowing it down, or do you feel like...
not really, because the disease is a progressive disease, so you really don't know. Last year I was walking without assistance of a chair and a walker, and walking upstairs. Now, is.
I saw you stand by yourself.
Yes. I do my exercise. I do stand-ups from this chair. I do my exercise right from this chair as well. Stand up. Just get that circulation going for the first time. And I do them like 10 at a time. Now relax, sit, exercise a little bit. I'll go over here, put my arms on the back of the couch. But my the lady just left. She's a friend of the family's and have given us quality time, and I sit down slow. I'll just keep doing that, just to keep my legs strong, as much as possible. And stand, do some exercise, and sit.
It looks like your balance is still pretty good.
Decent, yes, decent. Now walking, practice walking. I was able. I remember my brother brought up the treadmill over there, and my wife doesn't like it because too dangerous, right? And I was getting on it last year.
Can you tell when you're losing? Like when you lose a little bit of strength or lose a little bit of balance?
Yeah.
Can you see it coming, or is it just sudden?
No, it's gradually. It's not sudden. It will, gradually come upon you. Things that I was doing before, like now I'm talking. Last year I was talking much, smoother. My brother, I'm pretty sure you can hear the, hesitation and pauses in my voice. Also, I build up more phlegm in my throat, more so now than before. Handling
the
phone and the bottles, my water bottle, things like that. I used to be able to grab, but my fingers, my grabbing has gotten weaker.
Do you do anything to?
Yes, so I have the towel there. I'll roll up the towel and things like that, and just squeeze the towel back and forth. That's why I have the towel.
Do you find that helps?
It's not about strengthening. It's about just keeping things as loose as possible. And like my arm, I was able to feed myself at one time before, but I no longer can, with my hand, because I don't have that type of control to hold it up,
Can you lift your arm, or no?
Well, you can, yes.
Yeah. But it's still
it's a strength, right? It's the strength to hold it and control it. You take for granted so much, man, to zip your jacket or button your shirt. You take for granted, or to comb your hair.
So you gave us like 3 things that you said people should watch for. You said one was your strength, your
strength,
balance,
strength, balance,
and
the twitching.
the twitching.
The twitching,
Okay.
right.
So, can you give us 3 things that somebody who gets this prognosis from the doctor, because they're on their own,
Absolutely.
what is the first thing they should do?
They should definitely look at joining up with some form of rehabilitation center to start occupation and physical therapy
Immediately.
immediately, to jump on those areas in which that are still mobile, so they won't go to waste. You can have them as long as you can, because if you don't, you're going to lose it immediately.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Now, how about, I heard something about how you try to keep weight on because it attacks the fat cells.
Yes, you see, my wife told me that when she was telling me, you know, and she told me one time, I told her, I said, Sheena, I said, I think I'm losing my balance because of my right? And she laughed, right? And she said, right now, that's your lifeline. Just like that. And then we started talking about...
So did you modify your diet to eat more fat? Or
Yes. So we were at one ALS meeting, and one guy was saying, you know, hey, man, I throw down anything I get my hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza, burger, everything. And this guy is really big. And sure enough, he is, you know, he's there. I mean, he's strong. Every week I go, you know, every first of the month. Every month we see each other. You know, he's very strong, you know, and he's still big because it attacks the fat cells before it attacks the muscles. Regarding to MS and ALS, the nerves are disconnected from the muscles with ALS. With regards to MS, it is just the sclerosis, the sheath, the coverings of the nerves are stripped. They are still connected. Mm-hmm. That's why people who have MS can still, they're mobile. Mm-hmm. I had a carpenter. He said he's managing MS. And he in here carrying bricks and everything, you know, because his muscles are not disconnected.
Who's that karate gentleman from Atlantic City? Remember, he had MS, right?
Talking about Marty.
Marty Manuel, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He used to ride in the wheelchair.
Right, in the wheelchair. That was MS, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I have to look into it because
I remember they showed video and he started losing his arms and he was still kicking.
I would believe that it probably could have been a prognosis of ALS. You know, because you know
he was a fighter.
He was Marty and I and us. We were all good friends, man, and the doc. And the doctor, Eddie Anderhoff.
Eddie Anderhoff.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We can't.
Man, I haven't heard those names in years.
They used to compete against them, man. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so we used to all compete against one another. And with regards to ALS, it is totally disconnected from the muscles. That's why you have muscle deletion, because there is nothing to help regenerate it. You see? It is not plugged in. If we don't plug this phone in,
it's going to die.
It's going to die. Absolutely. And that's what's happening.
What does ALS stand for?
A, which is amyotrophic. A standing for no myotrophic muscle. No muscle. muscle deletion. Muscle will dissolve. Okay? A, myotrophic. L, which stands for lateral. Lateral meaning that the disease will go from left to right, front to back, up, down, all over your body. If I stood here and you all just watch my entire body, you would see the twitching that goes on throughout my entire body. It can be in your left arm, your right arm, your chest, your legs, your back, your neck, all over. It's going to get there 24/7. It doesn't rest. And at night, my wife says she can barely get to sleep sometime, and she can no longer sleep on my chest because of the twitching in the muscles. It just keeps her awake. And so, she doesn't, we doesn't sleep on my chest no more. Of course, it keeps her awake and she can't get to sleep. And so, and as well as her head and body lying on me, my muscles, it hurts. It very much hurts, yes. So that has taken its course. That means lateral, meaning left to right, up, down, front, back, all over. S, standing for sclerosis of the nerves. The nerves are stripped of their coverings. The sheath in which that covers the nerves are stripped down. And when something is stripped down, it begins to lose its power, its energy, its source. And that's what's happening. It's no longer, and then the nerves begin to die. The cells begin to die. So therefore, in which that was connected and covered, and good nerves and good cells. See, I still have good nerves and good cells. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. These people at the FDA and these medical industries have to begin looking at these individuals and saying that, wow, we still have some good in this one. Let's save this life here. Instead of just pushing them to the wayside. You see? What about the humanity of man, of your own people here? You're spending all that money out of country and not giving it to the people who are right here.
Who are it's their money. The taxpayers.
Our money. Absolutely. So there is a huge debate in which that is going on, and that I'm getting so fired up to speak to Congress and anytime I can to motivate someone and to move in the proper direction. And it's not Lou Gehrig's disease. I have ALS. You see, Lou Gehrig happened to have ALS and was a phenomenal Yankees baseball player. And who is my team, by the way.
Yeah. But here's something interesting.
Right.
Where now, because he wasn't, baseball's not really a contact sport.
That's why they say that it is not factual from contact or concussions, because there are.
But he could have been hit by baseball.
He could have been. Yeah, we have no idea.
He could have been hit when he slid into
slide on base.
Right. Anything could have.
But the other thing lies that we don't see, which is known as stress. Stress is probably one of the number one killers of human meaning that they are passing away like flies. Heart attack here, this here, that there. Oh, unknown death. You know?
Do you think stress...
I embarked on my last position within the last 3-4 years. 2010, I became vice principal, which was a hell of a task, you know, that I had to take on. I was given the entire discipline policy to change around and to create everything, not only in discipline, but for the safety of the school, discipline/security. And I had to create codes, meet with the security team, the police officers, all my teachers. I had to do that too for the curriculum. I had to create a SOS program. I had to create an entire student body discipline program all on my own. And then get out there and do the job running the school, maintaining order in the school, which was known as one of the worst schools in Newark, Barringer High School. And my brother could tell you, he came there during the hierarchy of its worst periods of time. And when he came back and saw it after I had it for 2 years, he could come in there and you could hear a pin drop.
You feel safe.
Totally changed it around.
You could feel safe.
Totally changed it around.
That's right. And I attribute that to my martial arts.
The discipline.
Absolutely, Carl. You know that.
I know that.
That's right. You know?
Yeah.
And if I could have got every student in a uniform,
You would have.
I would have.
Yes, sir.
But instead of a karate uniform, we put them in clothing uniforms.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we did. We changed the whole entire culture of the school. We went from baggy pants, all this other
Saggy
nonsense,
pants.
to
Yeah.
belt
Right.
in your pants. Everyone tan pants, blue, white, or tan shirt. And that's what we did. And I think the following third year, we had boost our levels of the curriculum and the scoring of education as the highest in the district.
Nice.
We were the highest increase in the district, and they were saluting my principal and all the other vice principals for such an amazing thing. And they came around looking at us as a model school. What to do and how to do.
So, Kevin, these are the things that people
You know?
don't know because your
Yeah,
accolades
I
go
know.
far beyond the martial arts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is my family. My family, man. Being here to tell my brother I love him.
I love you too.
You know?
Yes, sir.
To tell my kids to see them graduate and to move on and to do better things. That's my greatest achievement. My karate students, that kid right there, I had him since he was 5 years old. Asante, I had him since he was 5. Him and my son training, man. And for him to be so successful, that's what I achieved.
Yes, sir.
As you heard my words, I told him, I said, just make me proud.
Yes, sir.
That's all I said. Make us proud, man. That's my achievement. You know, Carl. When your students, you show your students
Yes,
something,
sir.
and they do it so well, that make you feel
Proud.
so
Yes,
good,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
You
But when
know,
you see them doing good in their life, it makes you feel
Right.
even better.
Even
Because you
better.
know, all those tough times, you did the right thing. When you was hard on him and he hated you for it,
right, Carl.
you did the right thing.
That's
you know?
right. And that's what my achievement. The martial arts has only been a vessel, a vehicle for me to achieve goodness
Yes, sir.
through my family, to love and to care, so I can buy my kid a pair of sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go out there and try to win that little $100, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
you know, to bring it back home. To,
Yes, sir.
To try to, you know, put it in for something.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Ironically, man, my brother is a financial service provider, and he's been managing my money
Earl?
since day one.
Oh, man of many talents too. Got to runs in the family.
Oh, he has multiple high clients.
So it's
Don
taking
King.
care. It's helped you to.
Oh, when I used to win that money, you remember when I used to win
Yes,
all
sir.
that money, Carl?
It went right to Earl.
It went right there.
Earl did the right thing.
And he invests and put it up for me. And this is why we are here in this home today.
Yes, sir.
Because of my savings. You know, I teach my kids to save and to do the right thing. And my wife is right here along with me, maintaining and establishing a good home
Yes, sir.
for our kids.
Yes, sir.
And our family, you know? And that's what my biggest accomplishment is. It is not winning the Diamond Nationals. It is not winning the battle or the gold watch to the Bluegrass, man. It is seeing all of my family members happy.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Because that's what men are supposed to do. You're supposed to establish a good foundation for your family to move and live from.
Yes, sir.
And if you are not doing
That's the cliches books.
okay, and if you are not doing that, you are not doing the right thing as a man.
Yes, sir.
You know, you are falling short of your responsibility. So that's my biggest achievement. You know, my brother told me a story. He said, as a martial artist, he says, the beginner says, I will do. The practitioner says, I am doing. And the master says, I have done. My brother Earl told me that. And I look at that and I take that and I say, I'm not finished, Earl, but I have done.
Give me a minute. Let me just pause.
But, you know, I have done, you know, but I'm not finished.
Yes, sir.
You know, and a good friend of mine, a mentor of mine, Ibrahim, told me that this is a way that the Creator's telling me that I need to sit down and rest. And because if the Creator wanted me, Carl, he would have taken
you,
me, man.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it.
So we have to believe that we are here on this earth for a reason, for a purpose, Carl. For a purpose, man. And I truly believe that, brother.
And he's asked you to champion a cause
Yes.
nobody else has really
That's right.
championed.
That's right. That's
He
right.
said, you've prepared. You've trained now.
That's right. That's
apply.
right. That's right. You know, so, you know, I'm not going to give up ever until my last bit of breath, man.
Sir.
You know, so I'm going to keep exercising. I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep doing my push-ups on that back of that sofa. I'm going to keep doing my leg lifts. I'm going to keep doing my stand-ups. I'm going to keep doing my shadow box too, man. I have my movies on. I stand up and I move my arms, man.
Yes,
I get them going.
Good for you. Tell Rodriguez you mastered the shin kick.
That's right. That's right.
I want to continue where we're going, but I need to go back and get a little bit of the early part, because we got right into the MS and we got that's covered in here.
Yes.
So KA, 4 years old, 5 years old, on stage at the Apollo.
At the Apollo,
6 years old.
I was probably about 11 or 12.
Okay.
It could have been. What year was that? It's about
You're already 70. A legend. See that? People tell the story so different.
I started at home when I was 5.
You were 5.
My brother Milo and Earl used to train me at home.
Yeah.
And then I went to the karate school at age 7.
Probably 8 or 9.
At 7.
Yeah.
There weren't too many kids in the school at that point. No. Training with adults, really.
Right. You're right. And that's probably why my maturity came very fast, because I was always around doing things like adults, and my brother was like my father. If I did something wrong, he would whip me. If he told me to do something and I didn't do it, he would get on me.
Did you resent it?
At that time, I did. Of course. Who wants to beat me?
No, I mean, like, you ain't my father. That kind of thing.
That never came out. That never came out. What did come out is the competitiveness in which that my brother taught us. I remember, and I always bring this back up. He had a football like a rock, and I was very small, and he was on the football team, and he used to always take me out to the park in the streets and throw it to me, and football was like a rock.
Yeah, it's a rock. They call it the rock.
Small.
Give me the rock.
Yeah. And I was small, and I would drop it. And he yelled, "Boy, get that football." And you don't catch it, I'm going to bust you. Catch that football. Right. And I started catching it, whether it was hard or not. I would just take it, and catch it, I remember that. And, he taught me majority all my sports that I played, He was in New Jersey.
Was he your sensei?
No. He was my brother and my father.
He
my brother Earl.
Sensei.
I'm sorry?
He taught me in the very beginning.
I taught him in the beginning. Then we went to our sensei, Kareem. But then he became so advanced. He became my sensei.
Kevin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, it's a full circle.
Mm-hmm. What rank are you, Kevin?
I just like to
say...
See,
he's a modest guy. He's a 10th degree.
Okay.
And that was awarded to him at the
Ocean State?
Yeah, not at Ocean State, at the Penn in New York.
Oh, New York, yes.
Yeah, that was what the big thing
was about. Yes.
Yeah,
with all the masters signing it. Yes.
Yeah. So he's a 10th degree.
It's awesome.
But he's a humble guy.
I know.
And the thing that most people will realize about him is that, he doesn't broadcast his accolades. You could be talking to him and you never know who he is. How great he is.
Yes, sir. There was a time we were in the city. I don't know if you remember this. We went out to eat. It was me, you, Jonas, and a bunch of the students. And one of your students ordered a beer in front of you. Man, you nearly ripped him a new one. It was like, and that left such an impression on me. I was about 18, 19 years old.
Wow. How old are you, Carl?
I'm 46.
Wow, you're young.
Do you remember that night?
I don't
You were so strict with him. I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, how dare you order a beer in front of me? I was like, whoa, uh-oh. I was like, somebody gonna get it.
Yeah.
You don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't.
Don't smoke. That's why it was so hard to
Accept.
this
You did all the right things.
There you go, Carl. I did
sir.
all the right things for my body, man. I didn't.
Where did that discipline come from? Not smoking, not drinking? Because there's a lot of people in our sport that do.
Right. My family, none of us
None
smoke.
of us smoke. Yeah, we have
drink.
one brother that deviated.
Yeah.
But most of us never smoked, never drank. We were all basically athletes.
Health
That's where all
athletes.
competitiveness
So the
came.
discipline came from
Yes.
home.
It
That's
came
right.
It
Came
That's
from
right.
home first,
Exactly.
then the martial arts.
Exactly.
That's right.
If he did something
That's
bad,
right.
he was gonna get it at home.
That's
so
right.
we didn't have to wait for the cops or anything like that.
It
You
wasn't
know,
gonna happen.
That's right.
It was all at home.
Right.
That's right.
You know,
That's
old
right.
school.
That's why
I
family
old
is
school.
so important.
That's why family is so important because you never forget. We tell every time we get together, we always talk about the old days. You know, I can tell you a lot of stories about my brother. I just tell you one real quick.
Okay.
He used to have this. Back then in the day, in the summer, you playing, then you come in the house and you want to drink, right? I go in, you don't want the Kool-Aid or the water, man. You always have the good juice and all of that stuff. the papaya juice is a health nut, right? and what happened was I had drank some and didn't know that he had already marked it on the bottle.
You got in trouble that day.
And I drunk, check it out. I drunk some. He came in and said, "Who drank my drink?" I'm like, "How you know?" Only took a sip, And so he said, "Who drank my drink?" He said, "Everybody in the front room." He said, "Put your hand on the Bible." Everybody, "No, I didn't drink it. He said, "Put your hand on the Bible." Everybody put their hand. I swear to God, I didn't drink it. He said, "All right, nobody don't know. Everybody line up." He said, "Everybody line up.
Everybody getting beat.
Everybody getting some licks." And I tell that story, man.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. I said he shouldn't have been marking this.
But back in those days, discipline was important.
Yes, sir.
My mother and father were separated, so my oldest brother was in the Air Force. So I was delegated.
You were there. You were the one in charge.
Yeah.
So.
Don't sit in daddy's seat.
That's right.
I understand.
That's right. Yeah. And he was a good big brother because I could go to him still today with anything. My relationship, school, anything. I could talk to him about anything. He's my friend, my father, my brother, my confidant.
Yes, sir.
Everything, I appreciate everything.
No, same here, man. How many times I talk to you about my
Yeah. And that's so important to have. And many people don't have that, right
Are your
here.
kids close?
Yes. I was very pleased. All my kids went down to help bury my oldest son.
Wow.
And all my kids was there. Wow. It was very, very, and they said a poem together.
Wow.
Yeah, for the other brother. And in Florida, those pictures that you saw with us three together, all my kids was down in Florida. And we had an excellent time down there, so I try to exercise the concept of family. That's why in the dojo we exercise those methods and philosophies which are so important. The more you feel for your brother and sister on the line, the more you train hard and make sure that you push one another, to make sure you have everything right.
Talk to me about the warrior chant.
the warrior chant.
Like when you guys say warriors.
Oh yeah. Well, warrior. The term warrior means to go beyond the stopping point. And when we feel as though that someone is getting weak on the line or need a boost of energy, need a boost of spirit, we get behind them and yell in their ear, and that fire and that desire, that motivation comes out, and we just say, warrior! And they respond.
Yes, sir. Has that always been? Or is that specific to Shaquille's Warriors?
Yeah, it's kind of specific to the Shaquille's Warriors, man. I don't.
So you started your school when?
And we officially opened in 81.
Okay. In Montclair?
In Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, in Newark.
South 10th Street. Mm-hmm. Yes, we call that the Shrine, where it all started.
Okay.
Yeah, and we was a very strict dojo. We used to still have the bamboo stick. Oh, yeah. No, on that butt. You make a mistake, down, no push-ups, you get whacked with that stick, and you make sure you get it right the next time.
Not just during training.
Not just to build arms and legs up. No. Discipline. Oh, yeah.
The old way.
That's right, the old way. That's how we were brought up. That's how my brother and I was brought up. And you got up and you was more focused.
Sir, that ain't happening again.
Oh, yeah, man.
So that was in 81.
That was in 81, right, 1981.
And that was your first school?
That was my first school. My second school was in 89. That's when I moved to Montclair. And we started there. And
did you maintain that tradition or the traditions?
Oh, without a doubt. Moving up to Montclair in 89, I looked around and it was a different type of element, different time, and we could no longer exercise those particular disciplines. So we made transition in form of discipline, and we just exercise more harder training as opposed to the harder discipline.
Now, harder training meaning more contact or more structure?
No, more structure, right. And more, how can I say, more teacher involvement, more teacher involvement. I knew that there was a certain breed that I could teach in Newark. And once I didn't even have to utilize the bamboo stick, I could just take it out and walk with it and look in the mirror and down.
And they would know.
In the backside. Right. They would know.
Yeah.
So even once I got to Montclair, instead of taking the bamboo stick out, I would take myself and put it in front of the student and exercise the more teacher and student involvement. So I would be more hands-on. That's why I'm saying more teacher involvement. There in Newark, I would say, do, look, and do. Especially in the advanced class and in the black belt class, you had no reason to be messing up, you know? And it was a different breed. Different breed.
Yes, sir.
And at that time, as an instructor, Carl, I was still learning too, you know? And so I had to take my attitude and make some adjustments and make some transitions because from the 20s to the 30s, I was still vibing into the 40s. You begin to, because I have a concept which is called push and pull by, I read a book by, which is known as Three Golden Pearls by the author Thomas M. White. And he had a concept which was called push and pull. You push from behind, motivating, giving incentive, encouragement. Come on now, I know you can do it. Nice punch, nice kick. More, give me more. I know you got it in you. Nice, good. Oof. That's pushing. Now the pulling comes. The pulling comes from the front. The pulling is to demonstrate for the student.
Be the example.
Be the example. Isn't that saying how we lead?
Yes, sir.
You lead
Leadership
by example
with the energy for
That's
excellence.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So not only I'm barking orders, come on, kick, punch, move quicker, move faster. Now I get in front of them and I show them. So not only the encouragement and the incentive and the motivation is pushing them from behind, you have to hit a student from all areas. Element which is called differentiation of instruction. Differentiation of instruction. Because you have so many different types of learners. Years ago, the instructors only taught one way. And if you caught on,
put your foot up in your.
That's right.
And you learn right quick, or you quit.
Or you quit.
Nothing in between.
That's right.
Many you picked, few were chosen. I guess you weren't one of them.
I like that. Oh my God.
I understand.
Yes. And that's how that philosophy came to be so relevant to me that not only that I had to motivate, and the yelling, people always get confused. And many a times I have to let them know, especially in the beginner's class, that the yelling is an element of motivation and incentive. I have the utmost respect for you and honor for your parents for bringing you on this dojo floor through these doors. I don't want to at no time have you believe or think that I'm here to disrespect you. You see, I want you to understand the respect comes from me first. I will give it before
I expect it.
I expect it.
Yes, sir.
That's right. So, again, being the example of the respect mode.
How do these lessons help you with your fight against ALS?
Oh, man.
How do you apply them? Because now it's a different thing,
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. It is, shall we say, about the mental and the, shall I say, not necessarily the physical, but it is the mental and the spirit, man, that sometimes I reach for, and I have to do 5 more squats. I tell myself, I'm going to beat this disease, and I just can't stop with 2 or 3 or 4 squats. I have to motivate myself, self-motivation, self-preservation. It's all about me and this room right here and right now. That's where it all starts at, you see. So those concepts, which is work ethic, discipline, not allowing a day go by and not doing a squat or my arm lifts or my neck rotations will not go by. I will not let it go by. I will complete them. I will do them. Even when I was down south, I was exercising, man.
Wow.
You know, this disease is not just here. It follows me wherever I go. So I need to be on.
Never leave home without it, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, so I need to make sure that my mind is focused. It's a term which is called Khmer. Focus, tighten the mind. Tighten the mind and stay on path of recovery and cure.
How about the spirit of Karate Do?
Yes.
Because a lot of people mistakenly think we're talking about something different when we talk about the spirit.
Right, that's right.
What is the spirit of Karate
The
Do?
spirit is just believing in yourself. The spirit is not a religion.
It's an attitude.
It's an attitude and a way about you, your character, who you actually are, who you will become by putting your soul and your heart into what you're trying to learn and develop. We're not talking about a religion here. We're talking about the way you have begun to develop yourself. Your character is who you are. That is your spirit. That is what the Creator says. After you die, I want your spirit. I want your spirit. Because your spirit tells everything about you, man. You see? That's your character. Who you are. Do you have a weak spirit? Lying spirit? A deceptive spirit? When we speak of spirit, we talk about character. You are a deceptive person, always cheating and lying, things of that nature. I am a Muslim, and a Muslim, he says, my word is my
Bond.
Absolutely, Carl. So when I speak my word, I am bonded. I am connected to those words.
No turning back.
So I can know, I cannot lie when I speak because that's not my character. That's not my spirit, man. And if a lie comes out, I must immediately correct it. I step on your foot. I'm sorry. You see?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yes.
Correct yourself then. Immediately. That's why the Creator is so great. No man can change night to day, day to night, create the sun, moon, and stars, man. No man can do that. So we have to believe in a higher power. And we have to...
So your faith plays a big role in
faith is
everything. The foundation.
Is the foundation, Carl. It is without saying that my faith is first and foremost before anything. Before anything.
And what would you say to people who don't understand that? Who don't understand why faith should be first?
Right.
What would you say?
Well, those individuals have the right to believe whatever they wish. It is not our right to judge or to try to change them. If they are Christian, Baptist, Jehovah, whatever faith that they wish to believe in, so be it. We have to respect them for who and what they are. What we need to do is concentrate on being exemplary. Being the exemplary example. Not to put your ways on someone else overtly. No. You lead How?
By doing.
By example.
By doing.
By doing. Somebody sees me hugging my brother, okay, whatever faith they are, they're going to hug their brother because of something right and something good. Someone sees me extending my hand in respect and gratitude for something, they're going to follow suit. So I lead by example. I don't talk a lot about what to do and how to do. I just lead by example. When it comes time for that time to speak about it, as though now I will speak about it. But continue to just exercise excellence at what you're trying to achieve. And that is to be a good human being.
Yes.
That's all. To do right. Every human being knows right from wrong, knows how to treat people. Every religion knows that spitting in somebody's face is wrong. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Every religion knows to go up to someone and punch them in the face for no reason. You don't have no real reason. That's wrong. You don't do those things. No matter what religion it is. So just be a good person of humanity. That's all. You see?
You've been on.
Your religion is very personal. You and your creator, man. You and your creator, Carl. It is not for me to judge you because you are this or that or this or that. I'm judging you because of your good spirit,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Is that right, Carl?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why we spend so much time
sir.
together, man. And that's why it's so easy for us to come back in connection with one another, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Because that was a
Good time. That's a good time. So you've been on every major karate team. Who are some of your greatest influences from the guys you've spent time with?
Oh man,
I know, tough question. Because that's like
I gotta just say, all my teammates, including some, right, Earl? Because there was a lot of guys that wasn't on the team. Like, I was never a teammate with Billy Beeson. He was never on any of my teams.
Yeah, you guys fought against each other a lot.
And that's my man.
Yes, sir.
You know, and a lot of people didn't know that we became friends.
Yeah.
Way back then.
It surprised me.
Yeah, and Carl, so many people who have not had the opportunity to go on the circuit, you know, around the world and fight. But they are good people. Tony Orengo. That's my man.
Yes, sir.
You know what he
sir.
You know what he called himself?
No.
He's graduated to calling himself my white butler. You know why? He came from New York and spent the day with me, and we stood here, watch television, crack jokes, everything, laugh and everything, and he had to keep getting up. What you want, K.A.? Hey, K.A., you want a pillow? K.A., let me get you something to drink. And that's when I was able to stay home by myself, you know. Now I need the aid. So Tony came over and he said, damn, man, you know, I'm like your white butler. He cracked me up, man. We laughed that day like crazy, man.
Wow.
And that's my friend. That's a good brother, man. So many good people. And that's why I say we have a special bond.
Yes, sir.
And a special place for each other in our hearts, man. And that's why a question like that would be just
It's a hard one.
it's not even hard. That's not even a question I would even entertain to answer.
But so many of them have influenced you, right?
Oh,
so many
man.
people in their own way.
I would say that, during my time with the teams, Carl, we were able to learn from everyone. Our coaches were very good. I had
Chuck Merriman,
had
right?
two of the best, two of the greatest coaches to learn from, physically and philosophically.
Hey, better, baby.
How you doing? There's so many talents.
So the influence, what would you say?
The influence was one
Just being around the great guys, right?
Yeah,
great people.
One of greatness in terms of not only the martial arts as a sport, but martial art as a way of life. The person. And that's what Donnie was talking about.
Yes, sir.
He spoke about not only the competitive
Aspect
of the art, but how he and I became very close as brothers and friends. And that, more than anything, influenced me greatly to just give totally of myself. When he was in my corner, whatever he asked or told me to do, it was like a second pair of eyes. Both of my coaches. And that's how I do. That's why I think I have been so successful, because of the relationships that I have built with, such as my brother, and he was my coach at one time, being in my corner. And I don't fight and tug with saying, oh no, it should be this way, it should be that way. Oh no, I can do this. No, I relinquish that area and just go.